Okay, welcome to another session for looking at variables in JavaScript. So the node that we have here is in JavaScript, variables are like containers that hold data, right? They allow you to store and manipulate information throughout your program. Variables are essential for programming as they enable you to keep track of changing values and perform calculations. So, in a nutshell, a variable is a container that holds data or that stores data. So, we're going to see some examples here. One of the examples we're going to look at is declaring variables. So, we have different ways of declaring variables. Declaring variables, we have the first way, which is the oldest keyword for declaring variables. That's the var keyword, but this is still commonly used today. We also have the other keyword called let. This is the preferred keyword for declaring variables in modern JavaScript. And then we have const. The keyword declares a constant, which means its value cannot be changed, right? After it is initialized. So let's see some examples. So the first example we have here is using var to create a variable. So when we say var name is equal to this, so this is us using var, the keyword var, to create a variable. Now we're using let to create a variable. We're using const. So remember that you can reassign values to these variables. The ones that you use the keyword var and let, you can reassign values to them. But that of const, you're going to have error if you try to reassign value to it. So for example, we have our name and we have reassigned, we've changed the value of name to Alice. Initially it was John Doe, right now it's Alice. So changing value of an existing variables, then attempting to change the value of a constant will result in an error. So we already have a constant called pi here. If we try to change the value of that, we're going to have an error. So using variables in calculations, we can say let sum is equal to this, and we just quickly, so sum is storing that operation, and we just quickly do console.log, and then we log out sum. So when we run that, it's going to give us 10 plus 20, 30. We can go ahead and run it and see by just going live. So when we click on go live, let's wait for it to finish loading. So it's coming up now. Good. So we come and we inspect our page. Remember, we are using console log, so that should log 30, right? Okay, so we do not have 30 here, rather it's speeding those errors. Remember, you cannot create a variable called pi and you reassign value to it. So that's the error is giving us. So let's comment this out and save again. And now we are having our 30 here. So you cannot change the value of a constant, right? So your task is to try the notes. There are some other variables that are in the notes. Try and replicate them and see what they produce. And also, finally, as you can see, variables are fundamental building blocks of JavaScript programs. They allow you to store, organize, and manipulate data effectively, making your code more readable, maintainable, and reusable. So that's the essence of variables. To part of the task that you're going to be doing is from the previous video which we discussed about functions, you're going to use functions, variables, and all that. Like remember, we did something like function expression where we can see, for example, let, and we can call it my func. Let's call it my func is equal to my function is equal to, and then the function keyword, and this and then function block, and then perform whatever we want to perform. So you can see that we are using let here, right? We can use const, we can use var, we can use any of the three. So your task is just to work on it and try something with it, try some mathematical operations with it, create functions that does mathematical operations, and just expand your knowledge on this. And I hope to see you in the next tutorial where we'll be talking about API. Thank you.